Welcome to a day of celebration. This is a day for which we have waited impatiently for many years, and we're determined to enjoy it to the fullest. From the outset, however, we must remind ourselves that one thing makes the day sad. This, of course, is the absence of Ralph Scurfield Sr., who in so many ways made this building possible. One can't help but feel that it turned out the way he would have wanted, and that in part, through this building, he will never be forgotten in this community. Permit me a few moments of reminiscence. A now famous dinner held one evening at the Ranchman's Club has become part of the folklore of this university. That evening, we were lectured to, criticized, challenged, you might even say insulted, by a group of very sincere members of the business community of Calgary. The subject was whether or not we planned to get serious about developing a first-class business school. Fortunately for all of us, the evening ended with a whole series of handshakes and a new commitment and pledge to work together. A few weeks thereafter, Ralph Scurfield and I had lunch one day, and the subject of the Faculty of Management came up. I thought casually, but I know it was planned, and in that direct manner so characteristic of Ralph's approach to everything, he turned to me and said, "How much will it cost?" We'd given some thought to that, but we hadn't done much more, and so I thought quickly of a number that was easily divisible by 2, because I assumed we'd be looking for matching money, and I said confidently $16 million. This pleased Ralph because he too planned to do some dividing, and he said, well, a quarter will come from the Scurfield family and a quarter from the New West group of companies. This would give us 8, and he said, if you can get the other 8, we're in business. And he couldn't understand why I couldn't give him that answer before he finished coffee. I was obedient. I headed for a telephone and tracked down Jim Horsman, who was the minister of the day. I said that in the past few minutes we had received an offer of $8 million. All he had to do was match it. Didn't he see the logic of it all? And besides, could you give me your answer on the phone? In a manner not characteristic of many politicians, Jim Horsman said, sure, why not? It was then my turn to sit down. I returned to the table and I said to Ralph, well, it's done. He said, good. He shook my hand and said, I'll get some of my people to work with your architect, and he got up and left. I sat there for a few moments wondering whether it had all happened, whether I shouldn't have asked for a signature, perhaps on a cigarette box or a napkin or something. I also want to report publicly that the name Scurfield Hall was selected by our board without any pressure whatsoever from the Scurfield family. We intended it to be a tribute.
This afternoon, I am grateful to be a participant in the official opening of this magnificent building called Scurfield Hall. It was just a dream, but Ralph could see that a school of excellence, a school of international reputation, could and would grow in our city of Calgary. In his own words, he said, obviously the provision of physical facilities alone will not do that. It will require an increased number of highly qualified professors, and it will require able and dedicated students. It is my hope that the business community in Calgary and Southern Alberta will consider joining us in our mutual goal to build one of the top business schools in North America. I guess I could say, as so many others have already said, Ralph challenged you, and you have met his challenge. The future will be most interesting. I thank you on behalf of our entire family, and even little grandson Mitch and granddaughter Kendra. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining us this afternoon. Thank you.